All right, it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down two systems that you can use to generate a healthy amount of qualified leads, qualified book calls, and high quality clients coming into your business, all using this one system that we just recently made called the 50K per month growth system. The reason why that we call it that is because we've actually proven this for clients of ours that we've been able to add above $50,000 in monthly recurring revenue to their businesses. So I'm going to break it down for you here, and I'm just going to give you kind of the simplistic, we can call it the foundation of this system, so that you have a good understanding of how to leverage it for yourself. Now, lead generation itself ultimately just comes down to picking the right audience and then putting the right message in front of the right audience. These two systems I'm going to walk you through here. One is primarily on outbound, okay? So outbound marketing. And this is actually where we specialize in a majority of the time for our clients is organic outbound marketing systems, okay? So actually having a system that you can automate to find the leads, bring them into your world, take them through a sales process and convert them, okay? Consistently, predictably, and a reliable system that you know where your next client is coming from, okay? So that's the outbound portion. The automated inbound portion, this can be paid ads. You can also get some organic inbound as well with like YouTube organic, Facebook groups, stuff like that. But a lot of inbound most times is of course paid acquisition. Okay, so we've tested and tried both. We've gotten great results for both for clients and ourselves. And I'm going to walk you through both of them. Okay. So the first one here, automated outbound. Again, like I mentioned, first things first that you really want to understand is getting the right message in front of the right person. So if you go ahead and you segment a list, let's say from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and then you clear out a list of specifically, let's just say, medical device companies or something like that, or I'll make it even a little bit more simple than that. Let's just go with like real estate brokerages, okay? And you want to get in contact with a specific broker. Well, those people are going to have a specific problem or a specific solution that they're looking to have obtained in their life right now, or a problem that they need to solve. So with that being said, that's where you need to craft a really strong outbound marketing message, whether that be through LinkedIn, through email, through outbound dials, meaning cold calling, because cold calling still works to this day. Believe me, that's what our team actually uses for our own business as well. So we do it every single day. And SMS, which is just texting. Okay. So it's putting the right message into these outbound channels in front of the right person that's going to get them interested in what it is that you have to offer them, get them interested and bought into a solution that maybe they're in the market for, maybe they didn't know they needed, maybe they're just browsing, but ultimately at the end of the day, they know that they have a problem that maybe you've touched on that you can potentially solve for them, right? And we're going to put them into our world, into our sales process. So what we also do is we build out what's called like an everlasting workflow. And what we want to do is first we hit them up on LinkedIn or outbound dials, okay? And then you can put them into an email follow-up sequence. And of course, you can add in some text SMS there as well. Now, all of this combined, you can go into an everlasting workflow upwards to like a month of you having touch points with prospects consistently so that you get your name and your offer in front of them so much that they feel almost obligated to want to speak to you because they feel like the message is good. They feel like we've been consistent with following up with them because not a lot of people follow up anymore. So at least it feels like to the prospect that we really care about them. We've taken time to understand their situation and we want to take them through our process just to see if we'd be a good fit to help them out. Okay. From there, how do we tell if we'd be a good fit to help them out? Well, we have crafted what we call a pre-conversion video. Okay. Now this video is basically just going to go through how we can help the prospect, what we do, how we do it, who we help, all the great things of helping this prospect get from point A to point B. Okay. And a little bit of background and credibility on our business as well. So you want to provide and pre-educate the prospects while they're in your sales process. You want to let them know, hey, this isn't our first rodeo. We've done this before. Or if you are a newer business, newer agency, whatever it is that you run, then you can just say, just a little bit more about your business and who you help, right? If you don't have any case studies for whatever reason, if you haven't got them yet, then you at least have an asset of explaining how you do your work, your offer, all that good stuff, okay? Just to show that you're at least somewhat legitimate, even if you're starting out and you're genuinely out here trying to pre-educate and help people with their current situation, okay? So this is a really important sales asset to have inside of your sales process, okay? And really what it is becomes is an automated sales process. So we actually automate all this out like a workflow. Okay. and we take them through a call process. This can be like a 1 call close. This can be a 2 call close. Typically, if you're doing anything outbound, you're going to probably want a few more touch points with them. So maybe you can do like a 2 call close. Some clients or potential clients, but some prospects might need like a 3rd call just to get them over the finish line. Don't be discouraged if you're just not a natural salesperson right off the bat and you're not closing people on 1 calls or even 2 calls. Okay. Sometimes that's going to happen. Okay. You can't overthink it. But ultimately, you're just building the skills so that you can become a 2 call closer or even a 1 call closer at times. But typically, with outbound, you're probably going to see anywhere from like a 2 call close, sometimes a 3 call close. Okay. Now, the feedback that we get from this sales process, meaning if it's positive or negative, positive meaning, of course, they sign up as a client, they onboard with us. Great news. That's awesome. What worked about it? We learned what worked, what about the offer got them to buy, who they are, how we can put that back into the messaging in the campaign to duplicate that process and make it better. Or if it's negative, right, we want to find out why people are not buying. What's the holdup? What's the objection? What are they fearful about? What are they uncertain about? Does this process make sense for them? Are we even putting the right message in front of the right person? Where do we need to tweak it? Who do we need to target? Are we even targeting the right people? Odds are if you get them into the sales process and you speak to them, they're interested. There's some reason why that they're on the call with you or your team or whoever's taking these calls. And you want to essentially find out if it is a negative piece of feedback, why, right? You just genuinely want to find out why, right? So you can put that back into your sales process and dial that in even more with your outbound messaging. Okay. But that is pretty much, that's just an outbound organic way of not only generating leads, generating qualified book calls, but actually putting them through a sales process that can convert. And you can even take the feedback that when you don't close, right, you put that right back into the system at the top. So it turns into kind of like a flywheel. Okay. It's a flywheel effect of how you continue to get better and better and better. Now, on the flip side, we have the other client acquisition flywheel. This is more on the paid traffic side of things. Okay. So maybe you're doing Facebook ads, maybe you're doing YouTube ads. Again, I mentioned earlier in the video, inbound could also be people coming to like a Facebook group, could also be coming to a YouTube channel just like this, because sometimes people watch our videos and they want to learn more about if our systems work for them. So they watch our YouTube videos and they book calls with us directly. So that can happen too, right? But for the sake of this example, I'm just going to talk about paid acquisition. Okay. And I've talked about this in a video a long time ago, but I'm going to bring it back up. And automated inbound. So, of course, you're running ads, right? You'll get them to a landing page, whether it be through Facebook or YouTube. And that landing page is actually going to have the pre-conversion video that we talked about before. It's going to be that sales asset, again, pre-educating prospects on what it is that you do and how you do it. Okay. That is going to be the base marker for getting leads into your pipeline. Okay. Once you have these leads in your pipeline, this is when you're going to need a sales team to reach out, ideally 5 to 10 minutes into the prospect watching this video. Now, why do we do that? Why do we not let them finish the video and conceptualize what it is that we do and even give them a chance to book a call with us after the pre-conversion video? Well, the reason that we do this is because ideally we want to get the leads while they're super warm, almost hot, right? They're interested, they're watching the video, they're learning a little bit more. And what we can do is literally get them as they're watching the video, the beginning of the video, and call them right away and ask them if they'd be interested in learning a little bit more about the system specifically for their business, just to see if it's even a good fit, right? So right then and there, we're just booking calls off the bat because we know that they're interested if they're watching the video, but we want to know if they're interested in having a specific custom-made solution for them, just to see if it's a good fit and if we can even help them out. Most people are going to take you up on that offer because they feel like, again, we're customizing something for them, and they're going to feel like it's a lot of value on that call, so they're going to want to get on that call. Now, this is a extremely powerful method, especially with paid acquisition. When I was a solo entrepreneur, before I had a team, I used to do this for a client. Literally, we'd have ads running, leads would come in from Facebook, they would watch a VSL. As soon as they would watch the VSL, I was actually the solo person fulfilling for my clients like a growth consulting offer, coming in and actually calling the leads that opted in to get them to book calls to learn more about the process. And at my height of this process, I booked over 70 qualified calls just on my own doing this in a month. So that's a lot of volume, right? So a lot of opportunity, a lot of people interested in the service, and then converting them over into the sales process and then getting them onboarded as clients. Okay. And then, of course, automated sales process. What do? We also have reminders, same ideas like we talked about over here. Now, you can do a one call close to this. Some people still do a two call close for inbound. But like if you listen to like the Cole Gordons of the world, Jeremy Lee Minor, typically when they get somebody coming in from inbound, they'll probably try and do a one call close. But I also we have clients that do this method and they go with a two call close and it works just fine. Okay, automated sales process, and then feedback, positive or negative, just like what we talked about earlier on the outbound, right? We feed that back into the top of the machine, meaning our ads at this point in time. So the ad creative, the ad copy, whatever we feel is going to be working to get more of these ideal type of clientele through the door, right? Or tweak it if it was a negative piece of outcome, right? But ideally, we're looking, of course, to onboard that client. Okay, so pretty straightforward. All right, these two systems alone are extremely beneficial. Of course, yes, for generating leads, it's a given. Like it's guaranteed you're going to generate leads this way. But making sure that you can qualify them is the other part, right? Pre-qualified leads, getting them booked on calls, of course, so you need to actually get them on the phone, and then actually converting them into clients. So these two systems, I know it's like I'm saying it's one system because it is. Ideally, you could use both at the same time, and some clients actually do of ours. They use both at the same time, and you can get a ton of traffic, a ton of qualified leads, and enroll a lot of clients this way just by leveraging these two processes alone. So go ahead, if this is something that you want to test out for yourself. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions about it. I can clarify for you. And if you do want to have a discussion with myself or my team just to see if you can implement this for yourself, see if we can custom build it for you, click a link in the description. I'm sure I'll put one there so that you can go ahead and speak with our team. But nonetheless, if you like this video, leave a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.